Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are we? Welcome back to the weekly Steelchair, where everyone is welcome to have fun, talk wrestling, and just be yourselves. That's how it is around here. You know the score. Like it's an all-inclusive channel, and that's what we are. Good evening to Maria. Good evening to Fernando, and good evening to Nick Teodoro, all across the Atlantic Ocean, across Wayside, across the pond, as you may eloquently put. How is everybody? We certainly have a lot to get through. We have a lot to discuss. I think we're all in a situation right now where does anybody have a fucking clue what's going on with WWE? And that includes regular viewers, casual viewers, a viewer. Like simply put, does anybody actually know what's going on? Like, I don't. Like, theoretically, and I'm not saying that because I don't watch. I'm saying I don't have a clue because I don't think they have a clue. Does that make sense? You really didn't miss much at all, my friend. But a conversation you will not miss. So, let's talk some things first before we even get into the festivities. Yeah, that as well is a key talking point. What's up, Smooth? You really came in rough. Bad controversial joke. Stassi, you missed some. You missed nothing. I think we're at the common point now where we have to ask a question, and we have to stand by this because this is a question that I'm going to ask everybody every week until the end of summer. So you've got until August 31st. What's up, Sean? How are you? And this is the question. As a fan, do you feel that Monday nights are a good reflection of your professional wrestling fandom, or do you think maybe other things need to be addressed? And this is not a clickbait thing. This is not to insult your fandom. This is not to say you're less of a fan than anybody else. This is simply put, do you think your fandom as a professional wrestling fan is being reflected the way you'd like on a Monday? Do you think The Miz leaves WWE? Yes, The Miz will leave by the end of the year. He's gone. His contract expires this year. He won't be staying. We're going to be talking about releases tonight. And impact of a release and the morale side of it. But I suppose strike while the iron's hot. Is this really the best case scenario? No, but do we have to address it the best way? Yes, this is an appropriate way to address it. So, let's address it. R-Truth, Carlito, Valhalla, all within the space of 48 hours to 72 hours, give or take, have all been told or effectively released by WWE. The mannerisms have really hit a low boiling point. Hello, James. Good to see you, my friend. Stussy, there's glimpses of it. All the pieces aren't really coming together, and all comes down to Jey Uso being the mid-card world champion. We're gonna look at him tonight as well, and we're gonna analyze him tonight. So we're gonna surgically dilute, dissect, disproportion the world champion. All the letters you can think of with disproportion in it. Hello, Lark Bark. Good to see you. Do you think The Miz can go Hollywood? I don't know if he's going to go Hollywood per se, or he sticks to reality TV. It makes sense with his family. He's already a part of it, but I don't know. If Cena, Roman, Cody were the Raw champions, suddenly the main event scene gets more interesting with Punk, Sammy, AJ, and Seth's crew. Even worse is what's actually around. The main event scene on Raw doesn't exist. I think that's another thing that people haven't realized yet. The main event scene on Raw doesn't exist. But what does exist is that voice change. Putting on a voice, quite funny. But what does exist is no cohesion or creative thinking process. I agree, James, 100%. Not even a 10% agree with you, 50%, 80%. I 100% agree. And I think people are going to realize this at Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank has just set them up for failure. But let's continue discussing these releases first. So let's start with the lesser impactful ones. Oh, it started raining. Nice. The first one. Well, we'll go in reverse order. So Valhalla. Don't fucking care. Goodbye. You offer nothing to wrestling, and your husband will soon be joining you when they release the War Raiders. Checkmate. Carlito, we spoke about at great length over the past couple of shows. Myself and Smooth kind of got into an interesting debate about it. And a positive debate. None of this bullshit debate. Ooh, nice. It's right about your time for storm weather, Larbark. Me and Smooth got into quite a debate yesterday. And I like Smooth, so I'm putting him over. Just. But he made a very interesting point last night, and that's what I've got a lot of respect for Smooth. So, in here last night, on the gaming stream, destroying Triple H in his pathetic suit, Smooth and I went back and forth about Carlito and how he can get over in 2025 and what he could have done and the impact that he could have had on the business. And we went back and forth. I said that, quite frankly, his spit and apple gimmick doesn't work. And it's not because it's a Hollywood, like, oh, it's a Hollywood, you get a little bit soft on it. Nothing like that at all. The reason why I don't think it properly works is because nobody would really pop for it anymore. And that's actually quite sad. Now, Smooth is going to come back saying, oh yes, I would. But yeah, you're going to, bud, because you loved it. Whereas I came back on the retort, and I use the word retort here because it was a good back and forth. I came back and said he doesn't necessarily need to spit apples, but he can still use the apple a little bit differently. Like, I'm going to echo something, well, not echo something, but this is something that I've been thinking about since last night. And I did have an idea. And I don't know how it fully works on television, but I'd give it a go. So who remembers? He was never going to get a prominent role anyway. He knew he was coming back for money. He said it himself. So it doesn't work in that way, but this works. So what I'm about to say does work. It depends on how you do it. Do you guys remember when Karrion Kross returned on that episode of SmackDown and he took out Drew McIntyre before Clash at the Castle at Cardiff? Do you guys remember that SmackDown episode? Now it's going back 3 years, so if you've forgotten, it's okay. Perfect. Then Maria, you'll know where I'm going with this. He said TikTok to Roman. Yeah. Well, here's the funny. What if instead of using a clock or a sand timer, what if Carlito carved his apples with a countdown? A cocky way of doing it, not exactly Karrion Kross per se, where he's talking about like foreshadowing events. But what if Carlito is just carving into his apple and he's being cocky about it? Each one. The man's got enough apples to last him a lifetime anyway. You just cut away. Carve in. Now, like I said, there's a variety of ways to use someone to get over. And Carlito's a cocky bastard. And that's his number one best trait is cockiness. So there's elements to it. Instead of the sand timer, use an egg timer and tie it back into the Austin Theory found the missing egg story. Interesting. Here's the thing, Smooth. Instead of spitting shit at people, he can spit words. You've got the apple counting shit down. You've got verbalage there that he can spit. He is the Puerto Rican champion, that is correct. And a good one at that too. He's not as bad as people think. It's just the way he was used just didn't add up. Like, we know why Carlito was in the Judgment Day. Let's be real. Believe it or not, Carlito was Damian Priest's replacement. It just didn't work because Carlito doesn't operate like that. WWE's Carlito was so bad when he's better. Exactly. He's so much better. Probably. Depends on if they sell to them. The fact that the WWC is still going is absolutely insane. Their booking hasn't been good since 2000. Oh, it is absolutely part of his catchphrase. So here's the thing. I spit in the face. He could do so much for that. He doesn't even have to... Well, I'm not going to do the actual thing because I might... well, I'd be awkward if something actually came in and landed on my fucking screen. But you can use the term or the word spit in a variety of ways, just like I can use sunlight as a subtext. Think about what he has to offer. We never got that. We never got that. Now, Nippon, who had a better second run, MVP, Shelton, or Carlito? MVP. In terms of WWE, MVP. In terms of overall, Shelton. Because that man's just turned shit around. So here's the now we're on the weirdest one. I think it'll be terrible, Nippon. So yeah, it'll get cancelled after like a season. The thing is, even if it's old Carlito, they could have done new stuff with it. But this is what people think like miss out on. Is you can have an old way, but do it in a new way, like a new evolution. The Miz will definitely be going. I guarantee you The Miz will be gone by the end of Survivor Series. I'm going to put a timestamp on that. The Miz will be gone by the end of Survivor Series. And his last match is probably going to be against an effing Samoan. Don't shoot the messenger. What's holding Jay back is cocaine and no ability. Like, that man needs to focus on himself, focus on what he can actually contribute, and try and work on that. But I'm gonna say it. The minute he started talking was the minute that his career was over. I don't care that he's world champion. It's already a blemish on the world championship's entire history. But simply put, the minute he started talking was the minute it was over. He should have kept silent. He is annoying, but he does seem to outlast people. The weirdest thing about The Miz is the third longest tenured talent in WWE. Like, simply put, The Miz is the third longest tenured talent in WWE. The fourth is the person we were just about to speak about. No longer the case now, because he's now being replaced by Xavier, Kofi Kingston. It's not just that, Stampede. There's so much more than that. After like 20 words, he's finished. Put the athletic stuff aside, put the work away. Jey Uso has one catchphrase, 20 words, terrible facial expressions, and lucky that his dad constantly cries and moans about his booking. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Jey Uso doesn't need catchphrases. He needs a fucking promo coach. 'Cause sure as hell he can't cut one. And I'll drink to that. He's never been good, guy. He's never been good. People need to just tell the truth. Just tell the truth when it comes to a talent. He was never good. The minute he started speaking, that was it. As soon as certain people talk, that's it. It's over. Okay. R-Truth. Ron Truth killings. Bill, don't worry, we're gonna talk about that. It depends on the person, Smooth. I'm definitely not giving Jey Uso a chance. What happened to the Miz? He deleted all his socials because WWE got rid of R-Truth. His contract expires this year. He's going. Record profits. Massive cuts. A fair shake is also who I am, Smooth. If you've been in the company long enough, then I don't give a flying fuck. Yeah, you heard me. Yep, I agree, Stussy. His contract expires this year. He won't get a new one. He will not be offered a new contract. If you name people, I'll say yes or no. I'll throw that back on you. If you name people, I'll say yes or no. But yes, certain people were given the title that they flat out didn't deserve, and it held people back. They were fortunate. It's sometime up later in the year. I don't bloody know. I don't watch that show. Besides, WWE don't even own the show. I don't know what's happening with Gunther though. That's the only one I'm not sure about. I think he's work. I think that's a work. He has no redeeming qualities. I don't know why people are going to argue with me about my own opinion on someone. He's not good enough. And I've been watching him since he debuted years ago. Like, I remember his debut very well. He came in on a tag team that were better than his. Where's the bias? I've watched the guy for years. I don't see anything in him. I never have done. I've said it since day one about Jey Uso. I'm going to say this one. His brother is 100 times better. And even then, I don't see much in his brother. But his brother is better. Damn right, I don't like him, but I'm being objective on his work and his ability. Lack of. The minute he stole someone's catchphrase and used it to get over, and stole someone's marketing that they did in the indie scene, it just amped up even more about the dislike for him. And I don't like how he appears on these stupid press conferences. I don't like how he conducts himself. The guy's a melon. He is basically what people said about Roderick Strong, that he's just a creator wrestler. He's just a casual B-Tech character. He's a Samoan Caw. He is a Samoan crater wrestler. Nothing else. Much better as a tag team because that actually fits him. I said it like, what, 7 minutes ago? 8 minutes ago? His best work was when he was quiet and did the tag stuff. Because he actually was more expressive. It's not disingenuous at all. How's the act on media scrums? If you watch them, you'll know. It's not exactly professional, is it? And he is shit. Do you want me to blow smoke up my ass and say actually he's great? No, because that's not what I stand for. That's what I literally said that like 8 minutes ago. I said in terms of tag teams, it worked for him. I think I've said it like 3 times now. Oh, it is cringe, Stussy, because he's not as cool. He doesn't have the crowd. The way he comes through the crowd, I don't enjoy it the way that a Santana does it, or a Sandman, or when Edge and Christian done it. When they done it, it felt something. Yep. No, he wasn't. Fucking hell. I'm moving on. The fact that we're still talking about that fucking dork says it all. Let's talk about somebody that actually matters. Someone that's actually more charismatic than him. Someone that can actually cut a better promo than him. Someone that can actually wrestle better than him. Oh yeah. A former 2-time NWA World Champion. Yeah, R-Truth. You know, somebody who's more over than Jey Uso. Fact, by the way. This one doesn't make any sense. Whether you want to plant it any other way or not. And I need someone to try and figure out why he's being released because I can't figure it out. Now, obviously, someone makes a decision and that person's being defended like a god right now. Why? I've got no idea. Someone else can answer that question for me. But the actual result itself, of all the people you can get rid of, why would you get rid of R-Truth? Why? Why would you get rid of him? I think it says a lot, and this is what some people don't get. You look at the report that's come out since then. Well, not the report, but the reactions is the word I'm looking for. The amount of people that have reacted to this saying this is a joke, or they've prematurely pushed up their contract renewals, says a lot. Yeah, he has no redeeming qualities though. Like, from what I see nothing that can suggest to me I would pay money to see this guy. Newsflash, when I went to Money in the Bank 2 years ago or whatever it was, last year. When I went to Money in the Bank, I wasn't paying to see him. I was paying to see Logan Paul. Hopefully not win Money in the Bank. Result. I paid to go and see Trish Stratus. I paid to go and see Chelsea Green. That didn't really happen as much. I went to see Nakamura in LA Knight. Didn't get that. I think if they kept him in the tag scene, it wouldn't have been a problem. I wouldn't even need to speak about him. Triple H is not having a good couple of months. He's not had a good longer than that. It's a lot longer than a couple. But TKO are apparently $3.8 billion in debt. Something like that. They are in debt with this. R-Truth probably isn't one of the highest paid talent on that roster. So here's an interesting question. Why not just get rid of one of the guys who are on an overpaid contract? Oh, he is fucked, Stampede. He is fucked beyond words. The funny thing is, though, is the minute he starts talking as well, he's fucked too. Be interested to see what happens. It's going to be very, very interesting. But R-Truth, let's go back to R-Truth, because here's an imposing question. I bet R-Truth wasn't on that much money on an annual salary. Not because he's not worth it, but I doubt they would have needed to. Yeah, Michael Hayes, get rid of him, 100%. Now, here's the thing. TKO say if they've got if there's cuts to make, TKO declare it, right? But TKO don't tell you who needs to go. TKO just say, right, we need you to make budget cuts. We're in debt. We need to cut some talent, cut some areas, bin people. All right, sure. Hold on 2 seconds. Blump, 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 blump. Yes, Truth, got to get rid of you. I'm sorry, I've been told to make cuts. Goodbye. Job done. That's literally it. Anyone who does, this is the thing, this is something that people need to understand. Anybody who doesn't think Triple H does not decide who goes, I'm sorry, you're an idiot. Here's another one as well that people may not like because it depends on their promotions. Warner Brothers Discovery don't determine who Tony Khan has to get rid of. If Warner Brothers Discovery say, by the way, we want you to make some cuts, Tony Khan makes those decisions. Anthem. Carlos Silva is the president and the owner of Anthem and TNA. But it's Tommy Dreamer who decides who goes. Why can't people not just, I don't know, hold the head of creative accountable? Like, it's Paul Levesque. He makes the decisions. You may not like it, and I don't blame anybody for not liking it, but it's his decision because end of the day, he's in charge of creative. He's got to plan it around. It's not hard. It's not difficult. 2 and 2 together doesn't make 5, it makes 4. And I don't understand why people are absolutely stone deaf believing that it's not his decision. What evidence? Oh, this is going to be even funnier when I ask this question. We'll see what answers I get to this question. What makes you, anybody that thinks Triple H is not the one who makes the decision, what makes you think that he isn't responsible? I agree with a vast majority of these. One of them might be, one of them that you've named may have been fine. I agree with a lot of those. One of them is all dependent, but the way things are going right now, it's a possibility. Natalia, that's who I was thinking of. Yeah. But R-Truth and Natalia were on the main roster at near enough the exact same time. A year apart, I believe. Actually, no, hold on. Natalia was at the Great American Bash against Michelle McCool. That was 2008 for the Wasted Butterfly belt. So no, Natalia was what, a year ahead of R-Truth? Roundabout, roughly the same time? Either way, 17 years. I think they're roughly together at the same time. Might have been a few months apart. No, Natalia was first, then there is something there. Either way, it's a long distance. Natalia should have been gone years ago. To be fair, considering what Natalia has done recently, you could argue yes, you can also argue no. Like, Natalia is an excellent veteran. This is actually something that I don't understand with WWE. You're getting rid of important veterans. R-Truth is also a multi-time world champion, thank you. And The Miz has simply put, his contract is expired and he'll get told your contract will not get renewed. But please don't say doesn't make any more sense. Please don't. Please don't. That actually hurts. Now, I've been on here before. I'm not going to be a hypocrite, right? I'm not going to be like that. I've been on here before and said I don't like a lot of the comedic shit R-Truth has done because it doesn't feel like the excitement I can get out of him. But I've never said anything worse than that about him. Like, I think there's a lot of comedic shit he's done that I actually quite enjoy, and there's some that I really don't like. But I find it absolutely baffling that he is gone. People are going to say, oh, but he's 53. And? You look at him, does he move like a 50-year-old? Hell no. He actually moves like he's in his mid-40s. So it's weird. Let's remember Triple H put the idea to screw Brett at Survivor Series in Vince McMahon's head. He has the ruthless said that wasn't Triple H's idea. It wasn't Triple H's idea. We need to get that fact clear. It wasn't him, but he was in on it. Yep, Finn Balor, he's in his year-long job phase. The fact that WWE didn't give R-Truth a proper run at a main title will piss me off when I've been asking for years. I'm going to say this, and I mean it. People are going to get really offended by this because it was one of their favourite matches. CM Punk should not have been the one that beats CM Punk should not have been the one that beat John Cena in 2011. R-Truth should have beat John Cena Capital Punishment in 2011. Sorry if that hurts people, because they loved that Money in the Bank match in Chicago. Absolutely, James. A veteran is so important if you use it in the right way. They didn't try with Natty Smarts, demand people to play themselves, but when it's not working, give them a gimmick. Natty remained the same, shit music and all. The weird thing about Natalia is they turned her into a dominatrix. R-Truth is a big loss, so was Dolph, and if The Miz goes, there goes people that are going to get put over. The Miz is going. He's going to get replaced by Carmelo Hayes, who offers nothing to your roster. And that fella from LFG that kept arguing with Bully Ray, he's going to end up on the main roster, and I'm sorry, he's shit. Nick Nemeth is already out there, completely redefined his career, won 3 world championships or 3 major titles in a year, and now he's a tag team champion at WWE's expense. The Miz could go anywhere and enjoy himself. I don't know what you'll do. I think CM Punk will leave. CM Punk should have cashed in on Triple H in 2008 and be revealed as Vince's son. The M in CM is for McMahon. That's interesting. John Cena beats Lil Jimmy, loses to his hero, so he loses and calls Dad R-Truth, who goes ape shit on Cena and then win the title for him. That's what I would have done. Do you want me to tell you the moment I knew that R-Truth would never become WWE champion? Like, there was a very specific moment I knew he would never be WWE champion. Ugh, of course my mouse decides to switch itself off. 2 seconds, there we go. Switch on, you cunt. I don't think CM Punk will be world champion. Like, I'll be surprised if CM Punk wins a world title again. But yeah, there's a specific moment where I knew R-Truth would never be world champion again. Let's see if I can find it. Ah, there it is. This right here is when I knew it was over. What about TNA is exciting right now? NXT seems more interesting. NXT is a swamp. TNA is literally the home to mug talent with WWE development talent. There's only a few talents that are exciting in TNA if they actually do it right. But here's the thing: see, to be even more exciting, get away from WWE. But that right there is why R-Truth was never going to be WWE champion. Not even kidding. This weird dress up thing that he did has to be the most delusional thing. But there's another thing actually which just came out, and this is something that's apparently reported true. I'm not sure how true it is, but this is apparent. R-Truth actually has a closer relationship, like not just a working relationship, but a personal relationship. He's a lot closer to Vince than he was Triple H. Considering they shared a locker room and he's worked under him for years, that says a lot as well. What if they're getting rid of him because of association? Very true, James. Very true. There were some decent moments in the early 2010s when it wasn't John Cena. I mean, they got rid of the more legit star in 2010 over whinging. I mean, you look at 2010, the top babyface annoyingly was Cena on Raw. Who was the top heel? I can't remember the last time I watched an NXT pay-per-view and said, this was great. Sorry. And that's me saying it. I can't remember the last time I watched an NXT pay-per-view that I can say, you know what, overall, start to finish, this was great. I feel like it's just... There's something about NXT that just... I don't know if it just doesn't click, or there's something there that just doesn't appeal to me anymore, but... Like, they had everything I liked at one point and abandoned it. Little bits here and there, guy, and I don't enjoy it. I really don't. The Joker Sting gimmick should never have happened. It should never have happened, really. But it worked to an extent. New Japan, yeah, exactly. I mean, they've got the best world champion in pro wrestling at the minute. And the best tag team scene. And they're actually pushing younger guys. The younger talent are actually shining through right now in New Japan. Brilliantly as well, I might add. Yeah, Hiroki Goto is the best world champion in wrestling at the moment. Seth looked like Jared Little Morbius. Yeah, let's not go there, because that film is horrible. WWE in 2010 had some underrated moments. WWE only had 2 great moments in 2010. And that's me saying great. Not underrated, great. They had two great moments in 2010. One at the start of the year, and the other was in the summer. The Seth Riders. Absolutely, Abu. Yeah, it went on too long. To be fair, when they brought it back for Robert Roode, I was happy with that because that was fun. I'll see you down the road at Victory Road. Here's one for you, Abu, because don't worry, we'll be speaking about this woman first. There's only two highlights on Raw for me. I did tell you what was going to happen as well on the other stream, if you remember. I told you what was going to happen in that main event. Now, there's a diamond right there. And I'll say this. You can already put my Money in the Bank winner on for Saturday, right here. Stephanie Vaquer is going to win Money in the Bank. They haven't fully recovered based on what? So they're doing storylines for people. They're actually pushing talent. They're working a way around it. They're including all different talents. So I don't see any issue why they aren't. Steph keeps botching. To be fair, you have to work slow with a bunch of talentless hacks like Liv Morgan. I'd be botching as well. I'm not going to put blame on her when it comes to botching. She's working with mediocre wrestlers. But I'll say this, see when it comes to new general stars for your company, Stephanie Vaquer is already your leading candidate. Naomi winning Money in the Bank is another interesting one as well. I think if you're picking between two, I think it's between Vaquer and Naomi. That's a good shout. I don't think Rhea Ripley's going to win it at all. There's a lot there regardless. Naomi, to be fair, Money in the Bank has never been about tying into stories. It's never been about that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Smooth. But also look at who she's working with. Because she didn't botch anywhere else. When you're made to work so slow that other people are going to have to catch up to you, or you've got to slow down for them just to even give them a bit of satisfaction, how can you keep going? That's my issue I have with their style. Don't tell them to slow down. Let them work at a pace that fits and let everybody just work instead of going, yeah, can you just dial it right down? She's botching more than anybody. Tiffany Stratton botches more than Stephanie Vaquer. Their champion botches more. Quick question on Money in the Bank. Do you think the match should never been removed from WrestleMania? Yes, I completely agree with that. It's why I would cancel the Money in the Bank concept. The WWE style is just look at the hard cam. It should just be talent working. It shouldn't be, oh, by the way, we want you to do X, Y, Z. I'm eager to see what WWE does with her though. For Naomi, like if she does get a championship, she's been back there for quite a while now. Her new look is very intriguing. I just don't trust the person booking her. That is something I think WWE miss a lot of. WWE needs somebody that actually knows how to book women's wrestling to book the women. Yeah, like when you look at WrestleMania 21, the whole story was we need to build someone new to become world champion. We need somebody who hasn't been in the title picture for a while. Let's bring them back in. But they never added to the storyline. Edge never added to the Batista Triple H storyline. But we still got a brilliant Gold Rush tournament. It's the same with RVD. RVD did not add to the Triple H Cena story. He added to something new. WrestleMania 23, Mr. Kennedy added to nothing. But Edge added to. But Edge is probably the only one who's actually added to. Actually, no, hold on. Edge's second cash-in and CM Punk's second cash-in are probably the only two that really contributed to a story and kept it going. Naomi is an easy path to Jade, but also that brings Bianca Belair back into the conversation as well. Trish or Lita should book for the women. I don't think it should be those two. That's true. But I think the second one was more of the bigger story because it really hurt a lot more. If Kennedy wasn't to be booked to win at WrestleMania 23, who would you book to win? Jeff Hardy. I would have booked Jeff Hardy to win at WrestleMania 23. I don't think El Grande Americano's going to win it, but honestly, I think right now it seems vaguely obvious for the men's side that it's going to be. Gail Kim was who I was thinking of, but actually I was thinking if WWE want to stick to somebody who is... WWE got rid of Gail Kim twice in the worst ways. I doubt she would say yes anyway. I would have gone... I think if WWE wants a women's booker who understands the business but can do it for them, I would say Ivory. I think Ivory makes more sense for WWE. Trish and Lita, no. I don't think they would be good for it, honestly. I would give it to Ivory. I don't think Trish would actually work like that either. Yes, I agree with that. Like Naomi is absolutely trying to reinvent herself. The somber promos are helping her, but they need to give her more than that. She can't just be a somber gimmick. I do like that she's doing the whole what's her face? Jazz, she's running the NWA territories. So I don't know. Nah, fuck Mickie James. Mickie James, honestly, Mickie James is, for one, she's a legend, but she's also extremely delusional. What a stupid question. She's went through a lot of shit, but she's also caused a lot of shit. Or are you going to completely forget that? A legend, but she's also a twat. Super Molly, no. Not Molly Holly or Molly, just Ivory. I would give it to Ivory. But yet, Jazz, I don't think so, because she's with an NWA territory that she runs. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe someone else, like Melina. Nah, that would mean the women's division would actually have purpose, and until they actually back up by reinventing a division, purpose doesn't really matter for a good booker. Oh, I know who they should go for. I'll put it in the chat. Bear in mind, I'm not from this bloody state, so do not come at me over spelling. Plus, I'm also dyslexic, so you heartless bastards. Alundra Blaze, I've got no idea how she would cope as a booker. Michelle McCool, no. I say she's a twat for other things, not because of one thing. The one thing was just added to the list. Just because you hate Mercedes Moné doesn't mean I hate Mickie James. I don't. I hold them differently. If you think Mercedes is a bigger diva, you've got no idea. Yeah, I said no to Molly just because I don't think that's what Molly would go for. Molly Holly would be a bad option, though. I just think I would give it to either Ivory or at best Miss Jacqueline. To be fair, I don't know if she would ever consider it, but Victoria. Or just do the smart thing. Call up Dutch Mantel and ask him who he would give the job to. Because, hey, the best guy to book women in the States was Dutch Mantel. Michelle McCool, absolutely. I would sack her on the spot. I mean, she has taken Mickie James' job, so she's very good at that. If you want to really book women the best, just ask Dutch Mantel. It's not hard. Before anyone goes, wrong, I'm right. I'm trying to think, is there anyone? Yeah, so ask Dutch Mantel for advice, or give it to Ivory, give it to Jacqueline. Is there anyone else that I would consider personally? Do you know what? Since she's on the way out, technically, it would be a good time to trial it. What about Natalia? Please stop. I swear, sometimes your mad takes get worse. How can you build something when they're polar opposites? And you want to talk about Mickey built the road for Mercedes to walk on? What Mickey's done in wrestling is deserved. But Mercedes isn't following Mickey James. Hell, she was a SmackDown GM. Why not ask Saraya? Actually, I completely forgot about Saraya. That's actually quite a mad thing. It's probably because Brad Maddox wasn't floating around. That's why I didn't think of Saraya. If you want to talk about Mercedes following a path from previous legends, for me it's Trish, Lita, and Victoria. She's following them. She's following that. She's always credited them as what was before her. Beth Phoenix. She's credited Mickey James before, but that's not where she says. LFG doesn't. No one's saying they don't look up to Mickey, but Mickey's somebody who isn't always the best role model. For me, if you want to look up to someone when it comes to pro wrestling, from the 2000s onwards, I'm looking directly at Victoria. And then later on, the likes of Taylor Wilde, Gail Kim, Awesome Kong, the 90s, Bull Nakano. Like, there's so many in a variety that matters most. You should never realistically follow the path before you. You should always follow the path you conjure yourself. Whatever's in front of you, block by block, brick by brick, stone by stone, gravel by gravel, tarmac by tarmac, paint by damn paint. You go down the route that feels natural to you. Anyway, can we finally get to Monday Night Raw? Because we all have to survive. Oh, I said survive. I meant pass through. Okay. Let's see. Advertised for Raw is Stephanie Vaquer. Thank you. In the women's qualification match, the final women's spot against Liv Morgan, Ivy Nile, we have AJ Styles on his birthday, who's going to do the JOB, like I told you all, on Sunday. He's up against CM Punk and Chad Gable. We have Jey Uso and smoking a blunt, and Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Yeah, we need to talk about those two guys as well, because Jesus Christ. We also have Finn Balor and his notable sidekick, JD McDonough, up against them, the War Raiders. We're on Testament, time flow, questionable decisions. And of course, naturally, at ringside, we will have the New Day, who are doing what in this business right now? Oh yeah, nothing. Commentary, sadly, we're stuck with Pat McAfee. And we have also Michael Cole. God almighty, he is awful, the pair of them. If you look at her entire move there, Smooth, it's basically just a spiral tap. That's what Stephanie Vakura is using, because Styles will never use it again. Stephanie Vakura is basically just using the spiral tap. I do love that backbreaker that she does use though as a finisher, like that unique shit. Like I like how, like, one wrestler I absolutely adore on this planet is Finlay Jr., David Finlay Jr., and I like the patella knee buster that he uses. Yes, guy, yes. The real Oblivion, the patella knee buster. Like that's the sort of shit that I like. I like variety of moves. I've suggested before. I know he uses the spin the block clothesline as his finisher, Mike Santana, but I love that he uses a alley-oop facebuster into a Liger bomb. That is demonically destructive. That would be the coolest fucking finisher in wrestling if he used that as his finisher going forward. Potentially. I still think the way she used the spiral tap is really good though. It's nice to still see someone using the spiral tap. Generally, it was one of the coolest finishers ever. Okay, we are 1 hour, 12 minutes in, so we may as well carry on. Yeah. She's going to lose though, but she'll lose in a beautiful fashion. That's what I like about her. She puts over talent the best way. AJ doesn't use it anymore just because of the impact on his lower back. That's basically it. Like it's when you look at how he used to do it, he's landing so heavy on that lower back, it just built up the damage on his body. He's like, I can't do it anymore. He's happy with the 450. He's happy with the forearms, but the spiral tap doesn't help him in that way. He could probably still do it as well, but he gave up on that 20. The last time I saw him hit the spiral tap was against Chubby Ray. Yep, he did. I said he was going to do the GOB as well. Like I actually said that he was going to do the GOB on his birthday. It was so obvious. Yeah, he does. He massively has to. It's gone on long enough. Okay, CM Punk opens the show. Lovely, jubbly. His plans for Money in the Bank. He's going to qualify. He's going to win the championship. He calls out John Cena. Talks about the bald fraud. Yeah, XYZ. Did Crash Holly invent the Styles Clash? I don't think he did. I think there was another talent around it at the time, but they never really done anything with it. But obviously, AJ made it mainstream from the beginning. But I don't know if Crash Holly was the first. He might have been. Stampede, he's talking about AJ's too old to do the Styles Clash. He's technically right. That thing would hurt the fuck out of him now. Worse. It would ruin him. I think Steph would have been good with Alba and Isla, but as a less campy version of their witch stick. Maybe. Maybe he does, but I mean, I would send him there just to squash Moose. And then after that, induct him and then let him go to AEW. I like the fact that La Premier, like the Dark Angel that she is, she's got a look, a unique look. But yeah, so He's going to claim the briefcase. He's going to challenge. No. Not a chance. Now, if he's coming out all in, I think the first person he goes after would be Will Ospreay, not Kenny Omega. You don't go for the. You don't go for him. I think, to be fair, it'd be funny if he did what he did when he debuted in New Japan. If he goes after Okada on the first night, that'd be funny. DDP's version was top tier. Although he didn't do it the same way, though. He did it differently. Okay, anyway, so Bobag talks about Cokehead and Chenna. Sammy, the political activist, not really, just Sammy the political comes out, interrupts CM Punk, warns about Seth Rollins, like anyone needs to worry about Seth Rollins. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman. He worries him about all of them. He's like, here you go, you got to focus, you got to prepare, you got to win Money in the Bank, man. You got to win. Yawn. Every time he talks, I want to fall asleep. Segment ends with Sami Zayn planting seeds for eventual showdown between future champion, future challenger, if they go for it. And the Tulsa fans wake up for the first time in their measly lives. Sorry, Tulsa fans, but it's true. Again, what are they doing? Not really. I don't think they really have an idea. See you later, Abel. The fact that you're disappearing is sad because we're about to talk about Stephanie Vaquer. Yeah, that is true. But he doesn't need to go after Omega at first. You don't rush. And besides, he's got unfinished business with Will Ospreay as well. Summer of Punk. We just need fucking what's his face to beat her. Who's the other? We need the bald GM to just beat him, you know. What's this? That's not her name. Let's have a look. I mean, to be fair, that's actually quite smooth. I just like the use of that. No. He should get released. Anyway, we have a backstage segment between Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, and Chuck Palumbo's biggest fan, Raquel Rodriguez, telling her to stay out of her way before she proceeds to tell Io Sky that she's going to win the qualifying match. She's going to go to Money in the Bank and she's going to take the title back. Sure. And I'm the King of France. She's about to do battle, of course, with Stephanie Vaquer and Ivy Nile. She looks like Prime Chuck. Stephanie Vaquer, pound for pound, the best women's wrestler in WWE. That's a very fair take. I think if they've let her do a lot more, trust me, Chelsea Green. The highlight of this match is simple. Stephanie Vaquer working. What isn't a highlight is WWE not understanding what they've got. And of all things, this is where the We Want Truth chants kick in. And this is where I'm going to criticize the live crowd. There was already one or two chants during the Zayn Punk segment, but there was more in this. This felt, and I'm going to say this truthfully, and I say that because obviously our truthfully, I think these were not We Want Truth chants like We Want Truth back. Sorry guys, I think they're the opposite. I think they're different types of We Want Truth chants. These remind me of the CM Punk chants when WWE fans thought everything was shit. And they're using it in this manner instead of We Want Truth. Because they picked their moments, this entire crowd all night. This crowd could have really amped up those chants if they wanted to, but they didn't. I don't know why, but they did. They could have done a whole lot more. And I wish they did, because see if they did, it would have meant so much more. Fighter Fest is fast approaching, yeah. That's going to be one hell of a review, put it that way. Like seriously, I might need to get someone to do that review with me. In this match, Liv Morgan, she would obviously get the devil's kiss, which of course is head between the thighs, bounced head first off the mat. Thank God Booker T was not here, but Pat McAfee ruins it anyway. She then goes for a second devil's kiss on Ivy Nile. Liv Morgan, of course, very offended that she never got as much action as she could. She breaks it up. It was mostly during the commercial break aspect we got the We Want Truth chants. And also, in the meantime, of course, we do get Paul Heyman trying to tell AJ Styles, please stay out of the match and just go after the IC title. What an insult, you bald prick. You bald prick. The match would end, of course, with the SPB, as we've already discussed. Vaquer wins, dominant performance, very nice touch that we got a match out of her that was, I think it's very soon. However, that she's going to be competing in what they still deem an important match on a Big 5 pay-per-view, because of course they call it a Big 5 now, not a Big 4. Do I think Stephanie Vaquer realistically should have went in this match? No. I think they're rushing to ensure that they can make it a little bit more spicy and exciting for what's to come. I think they've rushed in general to get here. I look at who else is on that match. You've got Roxy and Julia. The free NXT promotions. and like the most recent promotions. Rhea Ripley. Again, does Rhea Ripley need to be in a Money in the Bank ladder match to get to a world championship? No. Does she make the match exciting though? A lot more than most. There's a competitive streak here. There's a lot riding on this. But here's another thing as well. Stephanie Vaquer is going to be exhausted at Money in the Bank. I hope for her sake, I hope she does not open the show. I really hope that the women's Money in the Bank does not open the show, but knowing WWE, they're that predictable, it's going to open the show. Stephanie Vaquer is going to be absolutely exhausted. Stephanie Vaquer winning the Women's Royal Rumble? Possibly. I actually do wonder who's going to be the first woman to unsuccessfully cash in the Money in the Bank. Like, I do wonder which woman. Because so far, they've all been successful. Oh, she ain't dropping that. She is not dropping this gimmick. Trust me. If you actually look at it, Chelsea Green is basically mirroring Mustafa Ali. I love what she's doing. Off topic, should Mercedes versus Timeless Tony Storm main event? That's a good question, Maria. I actually think they might. And I actually think, you know what, for the amount of counter programming that's being done to All In, which I think is incredibly petty anyway, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. I say go for it. The final two matches of All In, regardless, should be the women's and men's world championships. Regardless of the order, those two should be the final two matches of the show. But also, there's still a chance that because it wouldn't surprise me. There's still a chance that Omega versus Okada main events the show as well. There's 3 lead-in matches for All In that could main event. It's going to be quite an interesting summer build to All In. We'll see what happens, but I think the fact that they're putting Evolution 2 up against All In, which is just hilarious. If by some reason Mariah May is there at Evolution 2, yeah, make Mercedes versus Tony Storm the main event, because that'll completely kill the buzz. I say go for it. Wouldn't bother me anyway. I think All In's going to be incredible. I wonder if they're going to do the gauntlet again, like they did at Wembley. I had so much enjoyment out of that match. The returns, the debuts, and the individual spots. It was one of my highlights from last year's All In. Moving on, we have our first men's competitive match of the evening. I say competitive, but you've got Tank Top, Michael Cole, and Pat McAwaster on commentary, but we'll certainly try our best. We have the War Raiders versus Finn Balor and JD McDonough in action following a segment from the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day had like 4 or 5 separate segments on this show. Again, like the title says, they still exist. Can we let this gimmick go? Please. It's time to end this faction. It's not fun. It doesn't feel enjoyable anymore. There's no way to take over. I just don't like it. I think it's rubbish. Mox versus Hangman opens the show. Mox goes over, then run the gauntlet. Darby wins the gauntlet. That's not a bad shout. They'll probably end the faction after GTA 6. Oh, James, see, just for that, you've earned this. You've earned this, sir.
Oh, God.
Oh, dearie me, dearie me, dearie me. I know you did. I thought that was perfectly timed, my friend. I really do appreciate it in there. I think WWE are realizing their tag team scene on Raw is really depleted. Because how many times, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but we are surely close to double digits now for Judgment Day versus the War Raiders. Surely, if not, we're already past double digits. And tell me something is different about these matches. Oh, wait. I'll change song for you guys as well, because it's an hour and 35 minutes in. Yeah, it is so stupid, because they've got nothing. I think it's time to revisit certain things. But WWE's tag team division on Raw is seriously dead. There's only 4 teams consistently that are booked. And what do they offer? Very little. You had the most natural tag team get wasted in recent shows, the Creeds. The Judgment Day constantly just keep rotating each other, and there's no real chemistry in the ring. The War Raiders will eventually be gone. Baldy's going to follow his wife out the door. I think Ivar on his own is actually better on his own. I know it's odd to agree with a commentary because they're just trying to rub salt in the wounds of a tag team, but bar the stupid meat chants, I think Ivar's better without Baldy. I can't remember Baldy's name, sorry. Oh, Eric. Eric. Ivar's better without Eric. But you can't split them because who's your dominant powerhouse tag team? And then you've got the champions, who should have been split well over a year ago. Xavier Woods should have went on his own. And now we've got the New Day, who have been a big flop. Their heel turns flopped. It's up there with John Cena's. It's horrible. It's up there with DIYs. They've all failed. They've not got over the way they want to. They've not had an impact like they would have wanted to. They're a sinking ship. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are nothing. They're nothing. Aldis and Tosawa are a bunch of useless jobbers. Sorry, enhancement talents. We'll show some respect. They're a bunch of useless enhancement talents. There's nothing on this tag team division that screams good. They had the perfect chance to recreate Team Angle, which is what we all said was going to happen long before it did. We all said Chad Gable was going to take the Creeds. And they failed with that too. They failed the Creeds, who should have won the championships at WrestleMania. I mean, it's not hard. It's basic stuff. It's simple. It's easy. The better teams are on SmackDown, but they don't get booked properly either. It's quite fitting that I've got a PlayStation remote because every time I see the tag teams, I just want to go pause. Because what do they offer me now? Oh yeah, nothing. What's your thoughts on the tag division, folks? Let me hear them. Let me hear your thoughts on the tag team division, specifically Raw. And I don't want, oh, they're good. Like, I want your honest opinion. What you like about it, what you don't like, what you would change. I want to hear it all. Let me hear you. Come on, folks, don't be shy. Let me hear your opinions on this Raw tag team division. In the meantime, whilst I'm waiting, I'll move on. We get a segment from, well, first of all, we get a very, very top tier interaction between Stephanie Vaquer and Rhea Ripley. More of this, please. I actually like these two paired. I'm looking forward to their interaction this weekend. Doing it in a little bit reverse order because I want to do the fun part first before we get to Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. Again, nothing new, same repeated segment. Lyra Valkyria, wow. Oh. Please never talk again. Please never talk again. She's awful. Sorry, but she's awful, guys. Her promos are nonchalant. She doesn't motivate or captivate my audience in that way. She doesn't make anything different. She doesn't make anything exciting. She's really below par, enjoyable to watch. When you listen to her, you just want her to stop talking straight away. I want to do this because it's all about being a good person. I want some fire out of her. Some energy. I want to see her really show something. But I'm getting the same promos every week from Lyra. And woman, I'm begging you, please change up. I'm begging you, please change up. Becky Lynch, you're the same. Same damn promos. It's becoming so redundant. It's actually hurting the divisions. And another pull apart brawl. It was terrible. But Lyra's losing at the weekend. Her title reign dies this weekend. I'm not even kidding. Absolutely, James. It's literally just turn on the TV, you press play on Netflix, and then boom, you're into Raw. I agree, Smooth. I agree. She looks like she's reading from a script. Like, you can tell. It's almost like someone's got a teleprompter in front of her and it's like, just read this line by line by line. It's not funny. It's not good. It's actually... I'm surprised nobody's using that as a line against her just to piss her off. Like, somebody should. You sound like a teleprompter. Just read this. I'd be like all in her face, telling her, you sound cheap. She was rushed into a title scene that she didn't deserve to be in. And now they're reaping the consequences for that championship. Sorry, Dakota Kai. Even Chelsea Green, shift Chelsea Green to SmackDown. Imagine Chelsea Green as the president of the Intercontinental title. Chef's kiss. Why am I giving this company ideas? I think that says it all, don't you? They could have done, but they didn't. Another standard mistake. We have on just the outside of the crowd entranceway to the catering where he belongs. Well, the mid card champion Jey Uso with his shades on, with Sami Zayn with shades on, make their entrance from the outside of the ring at the crowd area. This went on far too long. This entrance goes on far too long. This is so bad. She's already confirmed what her gimmick means. Too bad that she's just so dead boring. See if she wasn't boring, it would have been so much better. That's not a knock on her wrestling ability. It's just as a person, her personality. She's like a seagull. Just a perennial flying shitting machine. Jay sucks indeed. This entrance is annoying. It's even worse when you're seeing grown men doing that yeet thing. Ooh. Oh. I can understand he does it for a gimmick, but grown men in the crowd? You're embarrassing. Horrible. At least do something funny. It's been a while since Kenobi got an answer, but he agrees. Right, but I just think she could have masked out a gimmick like that. Yes, she could have done. She could have done. You're not wrong. Sometimes the best gimmicks don't even require words. The best gimmicks just require action. I think she would have been a lot more interesting with subtlety and explosiveness. That's a deadly combination. Subtlety and explosiveness. Outcomes to the ring. This was weird. We got a mashup of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker's theme song in darkness. Did anybody think that was interesting? I was caught off guard a little bit. Like, I like smoke effects. I've always liked smoke effects, no matter what company it is. I've always just had something about smoke effects I just like. But I was very surprised by it. I don't think it works though as a. I don't think it works as a theme song, but I do like the. I do like the use of smoke. Yeah, Smooth, see, you get where I'm coming from. Look how gassed they were. That says a lot about the talent. Four letters. One word. Lazy. Work on his cardio and drop some habits. Why do you think people are afraid to admit Jay sucks? Because I think people are afraid to get backlash over saying it on like social media or saying it on a platform like this. Whereas I will say it, I think he does suck. I've said it for a long time. I don't do YouTube to get thousands of views. I do it to have fun talking to great people like yourselves. If my entire viewership went from 7 to 0 right now because I said Jay sucks, I'm not stopping the show. The guy still sucks. Like, I don't get what people are afraid of to admit the guy is dreadful. Do you want me to tell you what's more exciting than Jey Uso? 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All of them. They're all more exciting. That's more exciting than Jey Uso. That. I'm in shorts. Don't say it. Like, ignore it. They're all more exciting than Jey Uso. Smooth. I don't even think it's catchphrase he needs, bud. It's not catchphrase he needs. He needs to learn what a promo fucking is. Look at his promos, seriously, of the last 18 months. Let's use the last 18 months as an example. They're all the same bloody thing. It's like 20 words, and then he's looking for help. Gunther helped him last week, and it's caught on camera. 11 seconds. He says all his words. He walks about, forgets his line, because, again, he's got nothing to say. And then Gunther goes, it goes like this. And you can see and hear it. You can see the loss in the shuffle. and you can hear Gunther's coaching, which says a lot. You can polish shit. A shit will you can put everything on it to make it not look like shit. It's still going to be shit. Like here's a funny example. You can buy a car that's fucking destroyed, give it a new coat of paint, give it a body kit, give it a spoiler. It still doesn't work if all the parts are still broken. Jey Uso is just a broken car that can't be fixed. I might get in trouble for that, I don't know, but what can I say? Actually, I can say a lot. Jey Uso would be better doing what I'm about to do. You know, the only positive thing I saw on Raw was how they presented the locker room segment. It was different. How is it different? It's pretty much the exact same every week. I mean, when you look at it, Sami Zayn and CM Punk did the exact same thing. Well, last week they did the same thing, leading up to Saturday night's main event. I get where you're coming from, though, but they're basically repeating the same thing. Fun little Marvel sock. Who they put up much of a fight's actually quite funny. Who they put up a bigger fight than Jey Uso has. No. I like it when people that aren't Scottish say no. Unless you are Scottish, then at least you'll understand. He was real casual and sat next to him. I mean, the only thing is, though, is it still doesn't do anything for Gunther. Because what is that? Because we know what's going. The weird thing is, we know what's going to happen next Monday. But yeah, CM Punk would obviously get involved in this match because he does own up to his words that he's going to keep an eye out for Sami Zayn. At least I'll give him that. He's a slight man of his word. It's a shred of creativity, a little bit, yeah. I just don't think they've got enough in the tank um for Gunther. I think there's something seriously wrong there. Seriously wrong. There's not a lot of advancement in storyline either. There's not a lot of change. It's still the same thing. I don't think we're getting anything. Another Judgment Day segment. Then, of course, we now get the Kairi Sane match versus Raquel Rodriguez. Kairi Sane is locked in this now. She's in the LWO verse now, or the Judgment Day verse, like I'll call it the Falling verse. That's what I'll call it. She wins with the insane elbow, but this wasn't. This is shocking. It's a shame because the whole thing, like Kairi Sane was getting less interest because the whole time it was "We want truth" chants. See what I mean about the crowd? They were picking and choosing. And obviously the main event, less I say, more I state. Karrion Kross bullied Sami Zayn. Thank you. Styles gets the main event on his birthday. You're about to do the JOB. All in all, I mean, we get a Styles Clash ankle lock sequence as well, which has never been a bad thing, but all you're going to get is the predictability that we're going to get outside interference. Gunther is kind of like a prophet in a way. Like he says that Jey Uso can't help himself, so he does come out and he helps Punk. There's no excitement here. Yeah, 10 seconds is not enough. It's not enough. Following the match as well, because obviously El Grande Americano, or just Chad Gable, because it is Chad Gable, who's going to be doing double duty on Saturday, gets the cover on Styles. Again, poor AJ. Really poor AJ. Another loaded mask headbutt sequence finisher. Like that's just all it is, but fuck me. And then after this, it's just tsunami after tsunami after tsunami. Because Seth Rollins obviously gets his black leather beak involved. Show's over. Like, that's Raw, but fuck me, Rob is ass. The only things I liked about Rob is seeing Karrion Kross's face, AJ, and Stephanie Vaquer. I'm sorry, but this whole thing needs a new creative team, needs a new direction. Talent need to be allowed to work freely. If you still want to pay attention to the hard cam, do it. But let them work freely. Let them have fun. But Monday Night Raw is not ready for Monday Night Raw is not ready for Money in the Bank. I don't think WWE are prepared for Money in the Bank. I think WWE have loaded their schedule with so many events that they've not paid attention to what really matters. Besides the wrestling, it's the talent, the booking, everything. They're not focused. And say what you want like you mean it. There's a great song for you. But reality favors the wicked. I've said it so many times. It might become a fucking catchphrase. Say what you want, say it like you mean it. An old game throwback. There's one for you. We're in a even worse situation than where we were months ago. But it's over. A different word, come on. Please, just for me, a different word. But don't ruin what he is. That would be horrible. I think it's a work. It's not just WWE stuff, it's all wrestling in the last 3 years. I was glad I never watched it. Once I saw the titles of the videos posted on YouTube, that was enough for me. The videos are pish. Honestly, like, I don't think WWE cares. SummerSlam is genuinely going to be, at this rate, skippable. I can't remember the last time I said that about SummerSlam. Like, I really can't. WrestleMania 42 next year, you can skip that shit. Literally. We're at a massive crossroads, and I feel like a piss break is enough. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, give me 30 seconds, and in the meantime, let me get your... Oh, I know he is. I just like what he is. I think I missed Lone Wolf AJ Styles. I missed that. Give me 30 seconds to 45 seconds. I'm back in a moment. Give me your thoughts on Raw, and then we'll do last little bits of review, and then we'll wrap up. But not as much as you think. But back in a moment. Let's see. Maria says D minus. James says, looking at the articles, what happened again? What's the point? Honestly, I'll tell you this. I enjoy every other review that we do, or conversation that we have, the watch-alongs we've been doing, more than this shit show. I gave up on SmackDown. I'm not giving up on Raw reviews, but I feel like they're just giving up on me. I say it truthfully, and I say it the way it is. The booking right now and the whole creative direction is an abject failure. You could honestly say, for all the money they're making, regardless, this is worse than 2019, and people say 2019 is worse. I'm sorry, but this is actually worse. This is a lot worse. But what will come from it, I don't know. Oh, nice. Exactly, my friend, exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to get out of here, but I'm going to say one little thing before I go. One, there's a little 20-minute video I uploaded to the channel that I think you'll all enjoy. I will just quickly share it so you can see. I think you will like this. Oh wow, the Chris Jericho beating Cody Rhodes video is nearly at 100 views. The Fatal 4-Way match is at 131. Not bad. But there's a little video that I put up a couple hours ago. I think you guys might like it. Three faces a Foley steel cage match. Yes, I have. And I really hope she's alright. I found a lot of that stuff yesterday to be crazily cryptic. But I hope she's alright. If you haven't, give this a little watch. I think you guys will like it. I'm going to be uploading a few more tonight. Give me if you want, give me a couple of suggestions. I'll upload them if you guys want me to do so. But got revenge on her. Little fun here. Entertainment. Can't believe that is over 1,000 views. That deserves a lot more. Not because it's my content, but because of who's actually involved. But yeah, this one I don't even play. This is fully AI controlling it with the CPU. Naturally, I chose Chris Jericho for this to beat up Cody Rhodes. But this, yes. Give this a watch, guys, if you haven't. If you want more content on the channel, let me know. I think she will. I think she's got a good support around her that'll help her. It's just things happen. It doesn't help that people are obviously making ridiculous comments about her, which doesn't help, but she's still going strong. I think she'll be fine. At least I hope so. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll throw it to the chat. I'll throw it to the chat. You tell me what we're going to do. So, you've got two choices. Yeah, Nintendo for the Switch 2 as well, but they're still assholes. So tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, you've got a choice. Ladies and gentlemen, all vote now. Yeah, you're welcome, Lark Bark. Again, as always, thank you for showing. For the record, since you guys have all went for the watch-alongs, I may as well tell you now. The Destruction stream tomorrow was Pat McAfee. Well, will be Pat McAfee. I think it looks like we might be doing the watch-alongs. Saturday, of course, is the Money in the Bank preview. I will have some guests. We'll try and survive, of course. Will James retain his title is another one. In WWE, no. Elsewhere, yes. Yeah, McAfee is the next victim, James, don't worry. So we're going with watch-alongs. Okay, tomorrow we are on the watch-alongs, and the first match tomorrow, just to check, let's see. Okay, a lot of matches, put it that way. Tomorrow, I'm gonna make some order changes. Thank you, Maria. I love it as well. I'm gonna make some order changes because there's a lot of WWE matches on this list for tomorrow. There's only one. There's only two matches outside of WWE. So I'm gonna make a change, but we will start with tomorrow. El Generico versus Kenny Omega. But I'm gonna tweak it around tonight, and we'll get a really good list in a good order, and then we'll run it. Oh yeah, I've got so many matches from like the 80s, the 90s, the 2010s, the mid 2000s, the 2000s in general. We've got matches from all across those decades. So yeah, we have a lot. We currently have to go until we've completed this half of the list. We have 69 to go. I'm going to let you try and figure that out. Might be. I'll let you guys figure it out. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. 2 hours and 18 minutes of your time is never a throwaway. It's always exciting. It's always enjoyable. And you are the Weekly Steelchair community. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Please do share this stream across your socials. Please do share this with your friends as well that might like wrestling. Let them come and enjoy what we have to offer. But in the meantime, my friends, I will see you all tomorrow for more Steelchair content. I've been Reece, signing off with a shotgun, because this has been a shotgun of a review. Good night, my friends. Arrivederci.